Hey guys, what's up? Um, so basically, here we are, live power rankings. So, what's up, chat? So, we're gonna try to get this out of the way. Make it a little better in here. Basically, gonna wait a second to see if anybody joins the chat. Um, First starting off a new channel. Obviously, don't have the luxury of there being people here yet. So, I appreciate you sticking with me, and obviously, just in these beginning videos, you can fast forward to where we start talking about the good stuff. But I'm gonna give it to about 3 minutes. So we're at 1:30 right now. Even another 1:30, and so I see Chuck just like the status, and he might be coming. That would be cool. But as far as I know, nobody else coming. Can hear my children's in the background. Forgive me. All right, guys. It's 2:30, so I'm gonna pull up the list, and we're gonna talk about the post Week 4 power rankings, the realities post Week 4 power rankings, NFL, and at number 32, we have the Houston Texans. Without Tyrod Taylor, is his name Davis Mills or David Mills? This team has been horrible. Completely horrible. So, there's that. Team rank. I can't talk. Anyway, rank 31 is the New York Jets, coming off of a win against the Tennessee Titans without A.J. Brown and Julio Jones. Titans are a middle of the pack team, and without those two guys, the Jets barely squeaked out an overtime win. So I still believe that they're not that good. Rank 30, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. They are still 0-4. And for some reason, they led at halftime by what? 14? Was it 14-0 at halftime? And then they lost the game. Crazy. Next, I have the Atlanta Falcons, who won against the Giants.
Yeah. Going to get Chad with the girls.
All right. Atlanta Falcons are playing the Jets this Thursday. If the Falcons beat the Jets, they will probably not move up or down in the power rankings. If the Jets beat the Falcons, the Jets will move up a few spots. Next, I have the Eagles. The Eagles lost double digits to the Chiefs as expected. So this one doesn't really do much to their stock. They lost double digits to the Cowboys. They lost I think, double digit to the 49ers. And they beat double digits Atlanta. So not really much shown from Philly. Great offense, shitty defense, kind of same as Atlanta. So next we have the Detroit Lions. Maybe this is too high for them. They look like complete garbage against the Chicago Bears, but I don't know. Depend. These bottom teams, this is make or break for them coming up in week 5. And it's just really bad. So the Lions are still 0-4. Clearly, I have them as the best winless team. They have Jared Goff and DeAndre Swift. And not much else. They do have some mid-tier wide receiver talent, and I see potential in Detroit because they've been able to put up points against the Packers and the Niners. But yeah, they should have beat Chicago, and they just were helpless in the red zone. They couldn't do anything. Next, I have Washington. Washington squeaked out a victory against Atlanta. It doesn't bode well when both of your wins are game-winning field goals against really bad teams. Washington could easily be 0-4, and I'm not buying in them at all. Next, I have the New York Giants. Can't put them any higher than here at 1-3. An overtime win against the Saints in a game where you had to be a Giants fan to even try to think that they were going to win the game. Probably 99% of the world's population had the Giants losing that game, and they found a way to win. Hopefully, as a Giants fan, this carries some momentum and stuff into next week when we play perhaps the biggest game of the season. We can beat the Cowboys and move within one game of the division, or we can lose to the Cowboys and go 3 games back and just probably not have a hope of doing anything. But we'll definitely also need a win to carry momentum in a 2-game win streak into home to play the Rams. So next I have the Chicago Bears. The Bears, after what they did to the Lions, have to have a little bit of respect. I mean, they're still all the way down here at the bottom tier of teams. and now they're going to be without their starting running back for a few weeks. With that being said, I still think they can beat all the teams previously mentioned. And as a Giants fan, this is huge potential for our future first round pick that will come from Chicago, because with Devin Singletary out for the next 3 to 5 weeks, I believe they could lose all those games, and that helps the Giants. Next, I have the New England Patriots. They just almost beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I believe if it wasn't for injury and weather conditions, that 56-yard field goal would be good, and they would have a win against Tampa Bay. But everything in the world seems to always go right for Mr. Tom Brady, who can now say he has beaten all 32 NFL teams. And the Miami Dolphins, not looking good. They still are without Tua, but Jacoby Brissett might be better than Tua. And if that's the case, then I don't know. There's not much hope for this team other than the fact that they have one of the best defenses in the league. But even the best defense cannot carry your season without a quarterback like they were able to do last year because of Ryan Fitzpatrick. So, Dolphins, if you guys want to make the playoffs, probably want to make that Deshaun Watson trade. Unless he ends up going to prison, of course. You guys got to figure out some kind of way to get a quarterback. Hit up the Bills and get Mitch Trubisky. Hit up the Raiders and get Marcus Mariota. You guys need help. And if Tyrod comes back and doesn't get the job done, y'all also need a quarterback. So, next, speaking of teams that need quarterbacks, Pittsburgh Steelers. I think, the New York Giants ran into this same problem with Eli Manning. And everybody wanted Ben McAdoo burned at the stake because he didn't let Eli start in place of Geno Smith. Now, this is not completely comparable. Geno Smith is garbage. Dwayne Haskins is garbage, but is not as much garbage as Dwayne Haskins or as Geno Smith was. Geno Smith proved time after time after time that he has not really had that much of an opportunity in the NFL to prove anything yet, especially playing on bad teams. At least if he came into the Steelers, he has a great running back and a great cast of receivers and a great defense. Big Ben is old. He is immobile. He is injury prone. Phillip Rivers and Eli Manning are retired. Big Ben, it's time to go. You guys need to put Dwayne Haskins in now before your season is over. The Indianapolis Colts with Carson Wentz. Don't know what's going on. They almost beat the Rams. They did beat the Dolphins. And then they also lost the other two games. Convincingly, I might add. So, I really don't know what to say about them. They desperately need T.Y. Hilton back, and maybe then they'll start winning. I can't speak much more on the Colts. Um, they're a 1-3 team, and I obviously think somewhat highly of them because they're almost, as a 1-3 team, they're almost midway through the rankings. Next, I have the Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos and the Indianapolis Colts are almost the same team, despite the fact that they're the only two horse teams in the NFL. I like Teddy Bridgewater. Carson Wentz is also good. Both of their defenses, amazing. But these teams are not good. I knew they were going to lose to the Ravens. That was probably my best bet of my entire life. And they proved me right. So now they're 3-1, and their opponents' records are 4. What is it? 4-8. It's not good. Next, I have the Cincinnati Bengals. I believe that Joe Burrow and Joe Mixon and Jamar Chase, they have somewhat of a squad there, and it's gelling, and it needs to play a full 4 quarters, and I think that there's potential on the horizon. It's tough when you're in a division where you can be a good team and still be the worst team in the division. I do have them better than the Steelers right now. They beat them by 14 points the other week. But like I said, if Dwayne Haskins comes in and he gets going, Big Ben can no longer avoid sacks at all. He's a statue. And yeah, we need to see more complete four quarter games from the Bengals. And that's it, really. I mean, other than the fact that they blew the game to Chicago because Burrow threw so many interceptions, they only lost the game by 3 points. I know they beat the Jags, and the Jags are nothing to brag about. So that's why they're here. You can't really move up or down from this spot. Next, I have the Saints. The Saints are 2-2. They beat the Patriots. They murdered the Packers in week 1, and then they got murdered by the Panthers, and then they just lost to the Giants in overtime. So nothing really screams good about the state of the New Orleans Saints right now. Jameis Winston might be a competent quarterback. He's definitely no Drew Brees, but we'll find out in week 7 when they finally get Michael Thomas back, and maybe that will light a spark under Alvin Kamara, who has been very underwhelming this season. Next is the Minnesota Vikings. Kirk Cousins is putting up great numbers. Dalvin Cook is doing Dalvin Cook type things, and they're not finding success. The Minnesota Vikings just lost 14-7 to the Browns, and that's really good of their defense and really bad of their offense. So, in a week-to-week basis, it's funny how teams can play up and down to their competition. The only team that doesn't seem to do that is the Bills. who have been properly disposing of teams that are not in their league. So next, we're officially into the upper echelon of teams. I have the Tennessee Titans. They are the bottom best team because you can't. The Rams lost to the Jets last year. You can't take this loss to the Rams too seriously when two of the best wide receivers in the NFL who happen to be on your team are out with injuries. If A.J. Brown and Julio Jones play that game, the Jets don't have a chance. And perhaps they slept on the Jets. Perhaps they came into this game and said, who cares if A.J. Brown and Julio Jones are out? We're going to win anyway. And they didn't. They had to play 4 overtime. They were down by 3 with no seconds on the clock, kicked a field goal to send the game to overtime, and they still couldn't get the job done. So, next is the Seattle Seahawks. As I said prior, Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson. Anyway, drop a comment about that. We're going to check the stats really quick. Okay, I just had to double check that to make sure. The Seahawks beat the 49ers at home. But I do have the 49ers still ranked as the better team because Jimmy Garoppolo left this game. And if Jimmy got to play it to fruition, might have had a different outcome. So, next I have the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers have been great this year. Hell of a offensive game against the Cowboys that they lost with no Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey on the field might make it a different result. And we will see what happens when he comes back in like 2 or 3 weeks from now. Next, I have the San Francisco 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo's status for week 5 is up in the air. So this power ranking is basically based on if he plays. So not much to or not to say about the San Francisco 49ers. They also might get Eric Mitchell back, or I'm pretty sure that's what his name is, right? Their running back. The 49ers have had about 27 different running backs in the last 4 years, and they all can run because either it's their offensive line is that good or their coach is that good. Not really sure what it is, but if you're a running back, you are blessed by the San Francisco 49ers. Next, I have the Cleveland Browns. They took a little bit of a drop in the rankings because they were only able to beat the Vikings by 14 points. Or 7 points, my bad. They were only able to put 14 up against Minnesota. So if this is what the team looks like, just because they're down Jarvis Landry, I mean, they still have Chubb, OBJ, Hunt, and a lot of weapons. So, and their amazing defense. I don't know. Next, I have the Oakland Raiders. I knew the Chargers were going to win the game. I didn't know the Chargers were going to win it so convincingly. But the Raiders are a great team, and because Jarvis Landry is not on the Browns right now, I have the Raiders above the Browns. Next, moved up 2 spots. I have the Dallas Cowboys because the Panthers are a great team and they beat them. They put up 42 points. That's 7 touchdowns and no field goals. It's pretty crazy. It's hard to think that the Giants have a chance of winning on Sunday, but it is a division game. It's basically a whole new team we just saw from the Giants on Sunday. We are 1-0 in the all-white uniforms. So, New York Giants season starts over. Like I said, the Giants could easily be 3-1. Cowboys could easily be 2-2. Cowboys could also easily be 4-0. Looking forward to Sunday. Hopefully the Giants get that W. And realistically, because Dallas will still be winning the division and they'll still have a better record, I'll still probably have the Cowboys ahead of the Giants in the power rankings if the Giants win. But we will see a drastic change. The Giants will move up. Cowboys will move down. And so on and so forth. You know, that's how it goes. Next, I have the Baltimore Ravens. I would hate to see what this Baltimore Ravens team looks like at 100% health because they're at 50% health and they're still doing it. They're down so many players and they can't be stopped. At the end of the game, where you would normally kneel it, the Baltimore Ravens classily ran for 4 yards. They probably could have ran for a lot more, but Lamar purposely stopped once he got the 4 out of respect for the other team because you are supposed to just kneel it. But the Ravens, by rushing for those 4 yards, kept alive an amazing record of 44 straight 100-yard rushing games. And now it's either tied or first place for all-time NFL record, which is truly, truly amazing. And then next, I have the Kansas City Chiefs, who this week activate Josh Gordon to play against the Buffalo Bills in what is definitely an AFC Championship game preview. We got to see the Chargers beat the Chiefs this year. We got to see the Chiefs beat the Browns this year. We've been blessed with some great games, and it's not stopping there. This Sunday night, Chiefs, Bills, must watch. Now, entering the top tier of teams. At number 6, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They are the defending Super Bowl champions. They have one of the most ridiculous offenses you've ever seen, but they just squeaked one out against the Patriots. They got blown out by the Rams. They game-winning field goal to the Cowboys, and they handily beat the Falcons. In the long run, that's not saying much. It does not look good for Tampa Bay. And still got to give them the respect, putting them at 6. Because when you start off at 1 and you fall to 2, there's not much room you can go up. And there's a lot of room you can go down. So if you're not playing impressive football, that's how the cookie crumbles, my friend. Ranked number 5, the Los Angeles Chargers could arguably be 4-0 right now. with a super convincing win against the Las Vegas Raiders on Monday Night Football last night. They beat the Chiefs. They beat the Raiders. Some might say they should be number 2. But I have them at number 5 because these next 4 teams on the list, I don't know if the Chargers can beat them. At number 4, I have the Green Bay Packers. Week 1, 35-3, they lost to the Saints. And then ever since then, Aaron Rodgers has come back in full form. Win, 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 win. And perhaps an RELAX for the man, the bad man, Aaron Rodgers, A-Rod, arguably the GOAT. There's only a few people that can have their names mentioned in that category. Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers. This football team still looks like the Packers team that we all know and love. But the Packers team that we all know and love has not made it to the Super Bowl in about 11 years. So, with making Super Bowls at rank 3, my best team in the AFC, the Buffalo Bills, after an upset in week 1 to the Steelers, they have come out and shut out the Texans 40-0. Shut out the Dolphins 35-0. Yes, those are 2 bad teams, especially the Texans. But when you prevent an NFL team from scoring 1 point, not just once, but twice within 3 weeks, your defense is legit. And you didn't just put up 21 points, 31 points, 35 and 40. Week 1, losing to the Steelers must have been a wake-up call because the Bills are figuring things out. This Sunday night is one of the best games, one of the best regular season games we'll probably ever see. If I remember correctly, this was last year's AFC Championship game. So, with that being said, my number 2 team is the Rams. Last week's number 1, after blowing out Tampa Bay, they just got blown out by Arizona. And because of Monday night and the 3-0 Las Vegas Raiders lost, our number 1 team, through only 4 weeks of football, is the only remaining undefeated team in the NFL, the 4-0 Arizona Cardinals. This team has the agile Kyler Murray, who can also throw the ball with accuracy all the way down the field to 3 of the best receivers in the NFL, Christian Kirk, DeAndre Hopkins, and A.J. Green. They've also gotten their tight end in the mix in week 4. Their defense is playing way well enough for their offense to take advantage and win these games. And as of right now, yes, they almost lost to the Vikings, but arguably every team this year has already lost at least one game that they should have won, and the Cardinals managed to not lose. They are 4-0, and that is this week's power rankings. I hope you guys like them, and I'm willing and ready to hear your disagreements or your arguments. And like the video, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and let's talk. Let's debate. In a couple days, I will post my predictions for week 5, and I will be here as the channel grows. We have 8 subscribers right now, so you guys are all gonna grow with me, and let's do this. NFL fans unite. This is 3Reality NYG. Forever and always. Until next time. Peace out, guys.